The answer is always going to be no until you ask. You hear that bubbly? Ooh, that is amazing. Today, I wanted to talk about a topic that for the past couple of years I've been thinking about. Talking about exactly what this title is, which is the power of just asking. In life, I think that there's this sort of invisible boundary that we set up for ourselves because we have this idea that there's certain things we just can't do. The way things are is just the way things are. You can't change it. And I heard this quote from one of my family members. He always told me that everything is negotiable. I mean, for as long as there's people still working and we're communicating with one another, everything is negotiable. I didn't really take what he said as true until I tried it for myself. When I bought my first suit, it was coming out to like $600, and I thought to ask, hey, is there any secret discount I don't know about? And the person comes back to me and they're like, let me take a look. They went back, they went to the register, they looked. There's $300 discount that we can give you. Or maybe it was like $250, somewhere around there. Yeah, I'll take that. And they're like, sweet, we'll get you wrapped up. And so I remember walking out, I was like, that was crazy. I saw the price tag, there were no sales signs, and so I thought that was my reality. The invisible boundary really tunnel visioned my perspective. But I just remember that quote that, oh, everything is negotiable. So I asked the person and they were like, yeah, we actually do have a discount that you don't know about. That is just another small example of how that changed my perspective on just asking and asking for help. Now, if you're anything like me, it's really difficult to ask people for help, especially when it's like related to job opportunities or mentorship, because I'm somebody that grew up trying to do things on their own. And I believe that if I didn't do it all completely by myself, then I didn't do it at all. And that was not a helpful mindset. And it took me a while to realize that if you want to go far, you have to go with the team. You have to ask people for help. You have to reach out. You have to see different perspectives. Because when you are just trying to do something yourself, there's going to be things that you miss. It's just inevitable. That's just going to happen. It took me a while to finally see a different perspective and to see that, no, actually, like I can actually be a more helpful person, more impactful person because I have this additional perspective and this new way of looking at things. It really helped position me to be more impactful in the focus areas that I was looking for. So set aside your pride, set aside your ego. You're gonna have to be vulnerable. I want to share with you 3 examples of the power of just asking and the benefits that I've received within my life. Number 1, career. I remember when I got my first ever corporate job and I got the offer letter and I was reading through it with my girlfriend at the time, fiance now. And I was reading the letter to her and I got to the part where it says, we'd like to offer you X, Y, and Z for this role. And I remember how excited I got because this was the most amount of money I've ever made. I've not seen this amount of money before in my life. And then my girlfriend told me, you're gonna negotiate, right? I was like, what? This is a great offer. What do you mean negotiate? Like, what if they say no? What if they retract my offer because maybe it seemed like I was not thankful for what they had previously offered? And I just remember being so nervous of asking. I remember I'm preparing my email back. I started writing it. I threw in a number that I did my research. I look at what people were getting paid for this sort of role. I compared the numbers and I found a number that I thought made sense. You're never gonna believe what happened next. And to this day, I still do not understand why they did this. But not only did they give me what I wanted, they gave me more. So there was this budget the entire time. But if I had never asked, it probably would have taken years to reach this point via promotions or whatever. That absolutely blew my mind, all because I just asked. I get it, asking is scary because there's that like fear of rejection, but once you realize that in most cases the worst that you can get is a no, the doors of opportunities like just open up. So that was with job salaries and in my career. Now, in terms of my personal life, talking about opportunities, it has truly opened the door by just asking. When I'm not working my corporate job, I am creating content, telling stories. For a while, I was just creating stories, seeing if brands or companies would reach out, and a few did, but I saw the most amount of collaboration when I actually did the asking, when I actually reached out to the brands that I like, when I reached out to people that I wanted to speak with. This made me think about how the opportunity was always there, but because we're so consumed by our fear, we just let it pass on by. More specifically, I had this one brand that I reached out to. They make amazing products. I'll show you what they look like right now. They make bags. And when I tell you that they make a high quality product, like they make such a good product that I genuinely love their brand. This is not sponsored, by the way. I reached out to them for one thing. We have built a relationship from that moment on. Their team will literally send me stuff to try out just because I reached out, and a relationship that was formed because I wasn't worried about the rejection of no. I was just focused on asking until I got a yes, and that was the case. And I'm very thankful for the relationship that I have with this team and their amazing product. That's just one example of the opportunities that have opened since asking. We talked about this a little bit earlier in the conversation, but I want to talk about this third example, which is a vision for your life. There's conversations where people say that you should keep your dreams to yourself, keep it a secret, and just work in silence. And I do agree to that to some extent, but I also believe in communicating your need to the world. I believe in extrapolating it from here and putting it out into the world and letting people know the mission that you're on, making sure, of course, that you're following up with action. But I think this can cause a ripple effect in ways that you might not be able to see directly at first, because people don't know what you want if you don't communicate it, right? They're not mind readers. So when you communicate the mission that you are on, it plants a seed in people's minds. They'll remember. They'll remember. And when there's an opportunity that they feel like aligns with your mission and your goal, they might think of you. They might remember you and refer you to that thing, whatever that might be. Hey, I remember that person. They always talked about how they really enjoyed this thing, and I think they would be great for this thing, and I should reach out to them. So now that we've talked about the impacts of just asking, I want to make sure that I mention this caveat, and it's that you should never do it in a way that isn't providing them value as well. It's really important that when you're just asking, that you're not simply just taking. It's a give and pull, I believe. I think in most cases we should aim to offer more than to receive. But today's conversation is just to let you know that there are opportunities out there, and if you don't ask, you won't know, and you won't be able to be a part of them because people don't know. Like with anything, don't overuse it. Be strategic, and I hope that helps. Thanks for watching this video, and hey, we are on a roll. 3 YouTube videos in just 2 weeks. That is absolutely insane. This is my world record, I think. And so we're going to try to see if we can continue this momentum. If you have any video ideas, please drop them down below if there's anything you want me to talk about. Ooh, that's good. All right, thanks for watching. Peace.